But I do know this, that it's only 3 people that had contracts with Puff and Bad Boy.
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time.
A lot of people are saying or asking, is Jay-Z next?
Kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all won't come through. Okay? So, you know, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. In an hour, we put the kids away, it's all good. Hey, DJ, that's it. Let's do it.
Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit.
What I'm about to show you has shocked the entire industry. A never-before-seen video from last night's private party is going viral, showing Jay-Z in a completely different way than we expected. People have been talking, but no one saw this coming. In the next few minutes, you'll see why security tried to take every phone in the room, except one camera captured everything, including Beyoncé's reaction when Jay-Z started acting wild. Let me show you what really happened.
Say this, it's kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Ashler, Kushner, Diddy and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, you know, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. But when we went over to the, I think that was Prudential Center in Newark, and him and Puff met up, it was strange to me. Because I remember what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact, they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky shit, and Diddy is, and was, rambunctious, you know, just out with it. It don't mean that they not two of the same. One just a little quiet with his shit.
What happened at the basketball game? When they ran into, you guys ran into Jay-Z?
They was talking amongst each other about their little white girls. They little skinny white girls.
And I mean, did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah. He was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It's probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them.
Jay-Z arrived at the entrance, and something was clearly off. Usually calm and collected, he looked tense. Security at the exclusive party was confiscating phones, but when they asked Jay-Z for his, he reacted strongly, throwing his hands up and pointing fingers. His body language screamed, "Don't mess with me tonight," with tense shoulders and neck veins popping. Security even backed away as he stood his ground.
And for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
Mr. Carter's who?
They're a nasty little couple.
Jay-Z.
They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious.
This girl's
There's
got
a
an
lot
agenda.
of things that
You can
people
tell.
don't want to talk about, Pierce.
She about to do a fake
But, okay,
tear.
but hold on, but Adam, but here's the thing. And again, it always sounds crazy and wild until it ain't, because, and who knows? She's not credible or lie detector test or whatever. What if she's right? What if all these things that she's seen, because she's a dominatrix. She said she used to work at these parties and tie guys up and whip them and everything like that. She was about that life. So when somebody that's about that life tells you about the life,
you giving her a lot of credibility?
I'm not, but Adam, where is she coming up with this stuff? She was at these places. She's seen it firsthand.
I'm not denying.
She was there.
Here, if I, listen, you can go.
Play this clip.
Yeah,
Play this clip, then we'll react. Go ahead, Rob.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview.
The craziest part? Jay-Z kept looking over his shoulder like he was expecting someone. His usual confidence was gone. He looked restless, running his hands through his hair and checking his phone every few seconds, like he was waiting for big news. Security at these events is strict, but even they seemed uneasy. After 3 tense minutes, they finally backed down and let Jay keep his phone, but the energy was off. As he walked past, security exchanged looks like, "What was that about?" And Jay still wasn't calm, still checking his phone, still looking around. Whatever had him this shaken was serious. But what happened inside the party? That's when things really got messy. While Jay was outside dealing with security, Beyoncé was already on the dance floor, and trust me, what she was doing had everyone pulling out their phones, rules or not. Let me show you exactly what went down next.
An absolute dirtbag, guilty of everything. But also, Jaguar Wright could be looking for her 15 minutes of fame. Prior to this week, this month, have you ever heard of this person?
I have.
So, okay, I don't know where parties you're at with that
No,
baby.
not parties, but she's been in front of the camera for a while.
I've never heard of her.
Okay.
I've been listening to hip hop since, Beastie Boys did Brass Monkey in '86.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this person. She's now, if you type in Google, if you type in Jag, what's the first thing that pops up? I guarantee you it's her. Not the Jacksonville Jaguars or an actual Jaguar. She's the first thing that pops up. So she's utilizing this 15 minutes of fame, and there she is right there. Here's what I'll also say about Diddy. This was
what song she was in?
No.
Big Pimpin'. You know what other song she was in?
Big Pimpin', spending.
You know what
G's.
other song?
Yeah, that's Jay-Z.
Yeah. You remember the movie with Denzel, American Gangster, while that one guy comes out with the song Heart of the City?
Yeah.
You know the Heart of the City?
Yeah.
Ain't no more No,
It was a remake
That's her.
of 80s.
She's in it.
Okay.
She's in those two
She's a
songs.
backup singer.
She is,
She's
yeah.
not
Backup
the-
singer for
No, no,
Jay-Z
she's not
in
the-
2001.
Okay, but she ain't Beyonce. She
No,
ain't
of course
Rihanna.
not.
She has
She
been
ain't Aaliyah.
around.
She's been
I'm
around
not
them.
denying that she's been around it. They're interviewing her for a reason. Here's what I found the most interesting about Diddy overall. This was David Muir was actually, he's the ABC guy, big news guy. He was interviewing, I guess, the guy that's handling a lot of the sexual allegations about Diddy, and he's receiving a lot of phone calls. Here's the most interesting thing about these sexual allegations. Yeah, I don't know if it was him or a different lawyer, but it was on ABC. You can check that out. He goes, talk about a gender difference. It's so interesting about Diddy. He goes, prior to 2005, it was actually 50-50, these allegations that kept coming in, men and women. 50% men, 50% women. But how about this? After 2005, it was 90% men allegations. Something happened with Diddy, allegedly, where he went, this isn't it. But it went from 50-50 allegations, receiving these phone calls, receiving what's going on, doing all these sort of testimonies, to 90% men. When there's smoke, there's fire, Diddy.
Yeah, and
what's going on in that baby
Alex
oil?
Spiro was on TMZ, and he said to those two guys, whatever their names are, I didn't send a cease and desist. I sent an ultimatum. Remove that false accusation, or a court is going to order you to.
Who said this?
That's Alex Spiro, right? That's it right there, Pat.
Play this? To you that somebody comes on a show and then kind of levels these vague-ish allegations. Were you kind of ready for something like this to eventually happen?
Listen, there's rumors and then there's nonsense, and this is one step further, right? This is a pointed and formal accusation of something. I felt it needed to be responded to. So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
He meaning Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Removing it and apologizing for it, yes. What changed here in my mind is that somebody on a so-called journalistic platform exploited that kind of random rumor mill, whether it's disconnected from reality or what have you.
The streets are buzzing about Beyoncé dancing with someone at the party, but what I'm about to show you changes everything. While Jay-Z was still outside with security, Beyoncé slipped in alone. No Jay, no security, wearing a silver dress that turned heads. She went straight to the VIP bar, and her energy wasn't giving happily married. Then a mystery man approached, tall, well-dressed, moving like he knew her. Her whole vibe shifted, playing with her hair, looking nervous. They danced in a secluded spot, and this wasn't just friendly. He held her waist, whispered in her ear, and she even placed her hand on his chest, laughing. VIPs looked shocked, some secretly filming. But the wildest part? She kept glancing at the entrance, as if expecting someone. Then, just before Jay-Z walked in, the mystery man disappeared. By the time Jay found her, she was back at the bar, acting normal. But if you look closely, her hands were shaking. And trust me, the night only got crazier. What Diddy did next had everyone pulling out their phones.
Let me show you. Now. Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, Shout out D Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyoncé, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia. When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
So let me ask you, because I look at Gabriel Union, and when you mention things like Jay-Z's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce, and I say that women do have a
that country album, and any of you that buy that shit stupid as shit.
You don't give it no
trap
credit.
music with goddamn a holster and a pad.
But she remade Jolene.
That bitch. I'm gonna tell you the song she should have remade. It's a hit. It would have done great for her. She should have tried it on. Tammy Wynette. Classic. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that hell. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice. But it has a ring to it. Stand by your man. Yeah. Whoops you. And disrespects you with other like Kathy Coriana White. Actually carrying his baby while you was faking it. Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you and put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
it's funny. You open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch bitch?
I think
she went and killed the girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. Snacking on his bed, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started f***ing all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know. I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston. Why the fuck did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, within the week?
The next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So, let me ask you.
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man. It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode, but for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys
And get arrested immediately after because Jay-Z paid somebody to him up just so he couldn't have a good night. You Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate you in AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
Yeah, but I have been hearing that a lot. I feel like your girl Jaguar Wright might have been one of the first to really put his name out there. I don't know enough. You know, I will say that Jay-Z, if he was doing ill shit like that, he was more quiet about it. You know what I mean? He was more, but then, if we be real with ourselves, it was kind of abnormal when he got with Beyonce. Like, she was pretty young when he got with her. There's rumors that he was messing with Foxy Brown when she was pretty young. So there's a lot of those rumors around. You know what I mean? I don't, yeah. And do you hear little things here and there? I'm not gonna lie. When certain people get to a certain level of fame, I don't know why, but you start to hear little about certain people sometimes. And I don't know how many people are really exempt from it. Because if you really think about most of your top celebrities, black celebrities, rappers, I feel like the ones that are at the top for a long time, I feel like I've heard a rumor damn near about all of them. Not that I've seen anything, but it's always these top motherfuckers. Now, some people will say, oh, well, that's just a hating. It could be. Or it could be that motherfuckers got to join a club in order to get to a certain level. I don't know. I'm not in the club, so I wouldn't know. But it's just a little weird that everybody that goes past a certain point, you'll hear a little. And these be behind the scenes rumors too. This is not just internet shit. This be before the internet existed. You understand? Because it's easy for some shit to fly around now with the internet. But a lot of this shit is pre-internet. And and it was getting around. You see? So, makes it a little different. It still could be some bullshit, but I'm just saying. Some of these rumors been around about people for a long time. You've been hearing little things about them. And have I heard little shit about Jay-Z? Yup. Do I think that he's trying to emulate himself and present himself as a gay painter, like to look like Basquiat? Yup, I do. I think 50 Cent was right about that. I think that's a code to, especially to white people, that he's approachable, he's cultured, but Basquiat was also bisexual. So is that a code that you're trying to tell these white people too? By trying to emulate this guy? I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Just, such an affinity for Basquiat anyway. I think it's trash. Let me just put it out there. I don't think that Basquiat's art is fucking all brilliant the way they claim it is. It looks like bullshit to me. It's some shit that white people would like. It's not some shit that black people look at and be like, oh my God, that is so impressive. He ran with weirdos like Andy Warhol and Keith Haring. They tried to call Keith Haring graffiti back in the days. I hated Keith Haring's art. It was crap. That was not graffiti. That was a white dude from the village who was inspired by graffiti, who started doing some shit, and because he's white, now he can go to galleries and sell this shit for fucking $50,000. And then you got real blacks and yes, Puerto Ricans, and even some poor white people that were doing graffiti uptown on the trains and shit like that, and they couldn't get no money for their shit, And their shit was way more technical, and you know what I mean? And makes you feel something and really aligned itself with hip hop. But all of that shit, Keith Haring, Basquiat, Andy Warhol with soup cans, get the fuck out of here. That was some shit where they gamed the people into believing that some bullshit was something special. And Jay-Z was one of the first ones, I think, to really talk about Basquiat. And it's like, why? Then you make a song about Tom Ford. That's another homosexual designer. What is this all about? Like, I don't know when heterosexuals started bigging up homosexuals, started trying to dress like them, do their hair like them, and making songs about them. I'm just saying, and Jay-Z, I like Jay-Z. I think he's a dope rapper, dope businessman. He used to be my neighbor. We lived in the same building, 560 State Street. But that being said, I'm just telling you what I know and what I've observed.
if we were Jay, would we like want to be associated publicly with that? Like, would we try to keep ourselves distant? Because a lot of celebrities are doing that right now.
Man, I don't care about what the accusations are, because they're just allegations, right?
And they're not true.
They're just allegations, right? And how many times growing up in the hood, we went to court for our man that may have killed somebody, or may have got arrested,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter, you know, the crime, Diddy's crimes doesn't warrant for nobody to support him, right? If anything, he would need help, right? If he got an addiction problem, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whatever, but for all these people to been around him all these years, even after the Cassie video, because remember the Cassie video was 8 years old, right? Cassie stayed with Diddy 2 years after that video. Everybody continued to party with Diddy up until last year when I was at Revolt World. Diddy was the man with the #1 album in the country.
Right, he just got an award.
He got a Lifetime Achievement. Y'all all support him. Jay was at the Grammys with him when he made that speech, right?
Right.
Now he get in trouble. Where the hell's everybody at?
I'm just saying though, if I want to protect my brand, I'm thinking about the business of it.
We cannot erase the images of Jay being with Diddy, like right there at the top of the mountain. They was together.
If Jay set him up allegedly, what would be the benefit for Jay? In your mind?
I don't believe Jay set him up. I'm not saying that, right? Set him up how? You know what I mean? I believe that he's not supporting you, right?
You also talking about the current kind of snake-ish.
Yeah, now, don't get me wrong. Jay is not on the up and up. Desiree Perez being down with him, it shows he's not on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe Jay-Z is a 137 source, in my opinion.
What is that?
A person that works for the federal government that they would never disclose is working for the federal government. Not even to another federal agent that's on another case. Or even a judge.
So it's like a top-notch point.
Where they don't have to testify in court against you.
Got you, like he's got immunity.